yourself. So David Lodge, that's just such the concept of having somebody on my back literally all the time that I'm having to discuss with and deal with and do everything that I'm told, more or less. That's lots of fun. I would love to do that. And evil is always fun to play.
I think as a fair revenge for Megan Hollingshead's Rangiku that I should pick up the Jiggle Factor girl.
You know, I would say Kylie Bear is too nice of a human being to play Sasuke Aizen. Me, not a problem. So why is there a villain that I'm not voicing?
I honestly think I would make a perfect Orihime.
I would love to play, if not Grimmjow, Ukiura. Just because he's so polar opposite of Grimmjow, who's all hands whenever he's on screen, ready to fight whoever it is. Ukiura, just how understated, yes, exactly, how calculating and understated he is.
Nice, good question.
Go ahead.
Hi. Both with Bleach and As Your Blood War included, what's your favorite theme song to Bleach? Like opening and which one's like your favorite?
Favorite theme song? Oh man, the music from this show, I think, across the board has been.
What's the one that goes?
That's the intro.
That's, yeah.
Like from the verse. I mean, I think that's probably the most recognizable out of all of them. I don't have a specific I can choose. I just know whenever we were recording and I got to hear the M&E in recording like music and effects, it's called the M&E. So sometimes we get to hear that, sometimes we don't, just depending. And I would always be like, God, the music is so incredible. Just great. And my husband just bought me actually, have you guys seen the vinyl that came out? There's a vinyl record set, like pressed vinyl record set of the music from Bleach. So, yeah, we got it. I can't remember where we were. But yeah, I just picked that up. So, can't wait to listen to it.
I think it's really important to have great music to support a great show, and that it sets the tone, especially if it's the introduction to something before the scene or during the scene. And so when it's this good, it only makes it better for the listener and for the viewer. And so I think we're very fortunate to have the music we have on the show because it really does set that mood. And if we could hear it as we're recording, it's just even more so. But it doesn't happen that often that way. But it's great stuff. So we're very fortunate to be a part of that too.
I just don't understand why nobody on TikTok has done an edit with AC/DC's Back in Black.
I'm on it.
Yeah, me too. That'd be cool.
I was just going to add that many of us are musical anyway, and take to the kind of the task of left brain, right brain, creativity and technicality when we're dubbing and matching lip flaps. And so whenever I have the score available to use when I'm directing, I lean on it heavily, because when you record something dry and you don't hear any of the background, and then you play it back against the music and effects, you can quickly see it needs an adjustment to be bigger to match the music or more subtle. And so I think all of us respond to that artistically in a very positive way. So we lean on it heavily. And I think the music is so motivating in the show.
Good afternoon, my name is Raji.
Hi.
As someone who's transitioning from live action to voiceover, what do you recommend as my first course of action?
Take acting classes. Become an actor first. Voice acting is just one aspect of it. The internal things you do in acting, whether it be camera, stage, or they're the same. You have to feel, you have to find those emotions, you have to figure out how to pull that out of yourself. And so that's the same, and everything else is technique. So once you learn to be an actor, then you can learn to be an actor in a camera, and be an actor on a voice. You know, and so you start with that, and then you specialize. Okay.
Thank you.
And make sure your demo is really good.
And keep your day job.
Yeah.
And get ready for lots of rejection.
Yes.
Yeah, more rejection than,
But if you do all that, welcome.
yeah,
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. Okay, big fan of the show, so thanks for all the great work you guys do. You all mentioned characters who you would like to be, but was there any chance that there were characters that they wanted you to be instead of the roles that you reprise now? Okay.
I don't think they were told us that.
In the show, yeah, I don't.
Yeah, we often don't get that. That's more behind the scenes with production and the clients. So they filter through production notes and inform us of need to know only. That's usually all we get as actors. But once in a while there'll be some switch ups or something unusual, but it's pretty rare.
You can often tell when you're auditioning. Back in the day when you auditioned in-house, like I auditioned for Cowboy Bebop a number of times. And I was literally the person right in front of Steve's room. And when I finished reading, I looked at the thing going, I cast Steve for this. And sure enough, that's what he got. So that's very rare. Back in the day, we could see who we were up against. Now it's all done at home, so we don't even know who else is doing it unless we talk amongst ourselves. And we're not supposed to do that, so we don't do it very often.
When we say at home, a lot of the work transferred to our home studios during COVID.
Yeah.
So all of the recording studios in Los Angeles closed, and they were shuttered by the state. I think it was a federal thing too. And so from now on, it is all shifted to MP3 recordings that we submit for different roles and different titles.
I will tell a really quick short story, Wendee. I think this is the first time you're going to hear this.
Oh, okay.
So, when they were originally doing the casting for the show, I don't know how many of us had callbacks. I had a callback because they weren't sure that they wanted me for Udi Yoshida. So I auditioned. So I did the initial audition, then I did the callback, and then silence. Like literally, I did not hear anything after the callback. So I figured, okay, I'm just not gonna get it. So a couple of weeks go by, maybe 3 or 4, and I heard through the grapevine that they already started recording Bleach. So I called Johnny, and I said, "Hey, dude. So I hear," and I was trying to be subtle about it, right? So I was going, "Hey, dude. So I hear that they started recording for Bleach. Are you a part of that?" And I knew he was a part of it, but I was trying to be subtle about it. And he goes, "Oh yeah, dude. So like, when are you gonna go in?" I'm going, I didn't know I was a part of the show. He goes, "Yeah, you're Udi Yoshida, aren't you?" I'm going, I guess so. So then I called Jamie, and I confirmed it. He goes, "Oh yeah, I forgot to call you." So I actually found out about my part through Johnny. Because he already started recording.
He probably asked,
Yeah,
like,
but
who's
they-
playing so-and-so.
Wouldn't even tell me. I didn't even know I was playing Yoruichi till I saw it on a schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, they never told us who was really being cast.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Well, maybe Johnny gets insider information.
Johnny's Johnny.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
How you guys doing? You guys prefer the at-home recording version, or you guys prefer to be in person to do the auditions?
One more time?
At home
Yes.
or in
Do
person?
you prefer how you guys do the auditions now with the at-home recordings, or how you used to do it before?
It depends on how far the studio is.
That too.
I like to commute when it's in my office, you know?
I prefer to be.
Right.
I like to be in person just because the energy is more fun.
Yes.
But you know, look, if it's one line or 2 lines, I'd rather record at home, you know, rather than get in the car and drive.
Well, and we all spend a lot of time and money building these really lovely sound,
Yeah.
professionally
That's
broadcast quality sound booths. We like to use them.
I don't think I've ever gone in to record on Thousand Year Bloodmore. I only do it
Really?
from home. Yeah. Because Keisuke was kind of in and out, you know, from the first couple episodes. He was kind of like, pops in, pops out. So I'm like going, do I have to drive a half hour there and back? And they're like, no. So, yeah. It depends, I think.
You're getting both sides of the coin here. The truth is, we do consider all of that as actors. The time that you're going to spend to drive in, is there parking? Is there going to be a director there to give you notes? That kind of thing. Were you talking about auditions or recording sessions?
In general, how you feel, do you prefer how it was before to how it is now?
You know, as far as when I come in to direct, I hear 80% of the time people are so grateful to come back into the studio in person because we don't want to engineer our own material and be responsible for it. We have to record a backup session at home in case there's any technical issue with the tracks that are being delivered in live record time to the studio. So there's a double process. And then you're responsible now as an actor for all this technical stuff, and it's burdensome.
It is.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And plus being in person is like, you get to see your friends. It's very social, you know.
To be fair, the craft services at my home studios suck.
Just gotta hire the right people.
Exactly.
There is one other that I do miss from even this wasn't even so much with COVID, but in auditioning now. Being able to audition from home is fantastic because you can knock out 1 million auditions versus having to drive all over Los Angeles and go to different places or go to your agents to do it. The one thing that I miss the most though is the direct feedback that you would get from the studio director or whoever it was, just even with your auditions. For me, going into the studio on an actual job to record, hands down, I'd always prefer to do that unless it's the 1 line or 2 line.
Well, even specifically to auditions, just that the concept that you have somebody there that you can bounce something off of and say, you know, should I do another one and give you a second choice or however you want to phrase it, you have somebody else that knows what they're doing logically if they're directing and can give you some positive or negative feedback, but at least give you some direction as to maybe to make it better, which you're doing that for yourself when you're at home in your booth, and that's the one thing that I miss about reading in person is that opportunity to feedback and discuss rather than just in my head going, I think that one was better than that one. Well, maybe you should stress that a little. Well, what's the attitude? You know, it's all the stuff that you have to do yourself, but you maybe have a little help in the studio. So.
As you can see, we have to make 1 million decisions on our own when we're working remotely. So you're having to make these decisions, and often when I go in casting sessions, I'm pitching for certain actors saying, I know they can play this character in this age range. I know the audition sounds a little more mature than that, but trust me, this is directable. And often the clients are unclear with those sorts of gambles. They don't want to take those risks. And if you're live in person and you're getting notes in live time from your director or your creative team, you can make those little adjustments and they can raise your percentage of how much you're booking. So it can have a direct correlation on your work. So yeah, it's great if you can be in person, but we do have the luxury of both.
And my percentage of booking went down a lot once we stopped being directed. Because now I'm guessing. I'm having to guess. What did the director want? What's the producer want? I wasn't in the meeting.
And also the chance to show that you can make that adjustment. If they suggest something that you do that, because that's something directors love, is someone that's directable. Someone that if they make a suggestion will just be a little more angry here, a little more adamant about this. And then you just go, okay, and do it. That demonstrates that when you're recording it for real, that you'll be able to do that as well.
Yeah, I tell my students, a good audition will get you your first part. Being directable will get you your second and third part. Because that's what we're looking for.
Ready for your question?
Yeah.
The mic is on. Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
My question is on the subject of music, and sorry.
That's all right.
Have you guys ever heard of the music score for Bleach?
What?
The music score for Bleach.
The score of Bleach.
Yeah, I've heard, I mean, I've only heard it with the show, but
Hmm.
yeah. But Michelle's got the recordings now.
Yeah, the violin, like, somebody, I don't know who.
It was another guess, yeah.
But there's an album, you can buy pressed vinyl of the music.
Okay. I don't know. I just wanted your opinion on your thoughts on the composer of Shuru Sajutsu's score for the entirety of the anime.
We're having trouble hearing, sorry love, you were talking about the score?
Yeah. I mean, the composer is Shuru Sajutsu, who does the music for Bleach, is just the opinion I wanted to ask if you ever heard of it before.
Yeah, we've heard it.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
all of us have.
Yeah, maybe not just listening to it solo, but integrated into the show, yeah. It's been a huge motivator for us.
Okay. Because your voice work blended with the music, just like, it synchronizes so beautifully with the performances you guys put on. Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah, thank you.
We have a couple of minutes left here. The one thing I wanted to ask all you guys, so you do a lot of cons, you're out here meeting the fans as you are this weekend. What's an interaction that you've had with a fan that's really surprised you, moved you, or reminded you of how important your jobs are and how important this show is to the fandom?
Yeah, there's so many
that's also
stories.
true.
Yeah.
I had a gentleman that embroidered a watch cap for me with the picture of Byakuya and his name on it. And it's a stunning piece of work. His name is Jordan. I don't know if he's here now. I think he's right there. Yeah, and it was just, seriously, I've showed so many people that because it's such amazing work and just, it demonstrates, how much you guys care about us and we really feel the same about you because if it weren't for you, we wouldn't be sitting up here. And so, thank you all so very much. And anytime you guys make the effort to just even say thank you.
I mean, I've heard so many stories from people about not only Bleach, but a lot of the shows that we all work on. When we're in the recording booth, we're by ourselves. It's us and the director, and we don't know how something is going to affect you. So to hear your stories about how, a character or a show helped you through tough times or, affected you in a positive way. Like hearing those stories from the fandom for any of the shows we work on is really just, it's touching. And it is a privilege and it makes it all the more better to know that these characters that we're bringing to life for you really mean something,
And you guys bring this dimension to this whole process. Most of us, I don't think were really aware that we had a fandom until conventions started rolling around. And, the advent of streaming, people caught up. And back in the day when we recorded this stuff, it was just for nerds, man. Right? And now all the normies know about it. What are you going to do?
Don't kid yourself. It's still for nerds.
Right? We're all trendsetters.
Yes. So thanks to the OGs, thanks to the newbies. We love you all, and thank you for giving us the feedback because these are stories that when we go into record, we only really get to see our own performance. So you guys probably tell us more about the stories than we witness ourselves unless we watch it. And I can guarantee you if I ask everybody here if they've watched the entire season or all of Bleach, the only person that could say it would be Wendee Lee. No, Steve! Steve, are you a fan too?
Steve is a fellow
Never mind. But anywho, thank you guys for feeding back, giving us the feedback for our performances and the fact that these resonated with you guys and they still do. we never saw this happening. And we didn't do it for this. This is just the frosting of the cake. So thank you guys so much. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Point out, look at this cosplay.
Oh my god.
Of
It's 15 years old. I've been cosplaying her since 2009. Thank you for your work.
You look exactly like her.
Yes.
It's so great.
And we have a couple of minutes. We'll get to these two questions too. Let's get these folks in.
Hi. Big fan of the show. Love all of your work. Bleach is my favorite of the big three. And just super quick, what do you tend to do? My question was already asked, so I'll just do my general. For voice acting, unless it's like your general speaking voice, what do you do to prepare? How do you get into the vocal space?
It's very important to our clients, almost across the board, that the English version we're doing really is a mirror version of the Japanese version. So we do rely, even in the audition, heavily upon listening to the original voice actor and trying to bring at least an essence of what that person brought to our version, because usually there's a director, and nowadays even more often a client overlooking, and this is what's important to them, and as I say, that's our brief. This is what we've been asked to do, to embody this in the sense of the original. So in developing any of these characters, I'm speaking for myself, I listened hard to the original preview and then create from what I hear in that preview until the people in charge say, okay, we're happy with that.
Yeah, just adding to that, we're looking for a similar sonic match in casting, and that often is what will be the deciding factor for the client. Not so much what the actor can bring to the part, but is there a similarity in the resonance and the actual tone of the character? Super important. Then it's our job to, I feel, not just replicate the performance, but to enhance it.
Yeah.
And to actually add your own creative touch to it, not as a goal, but to weave that into the work that you're doing. So it's elevating the experience for the audience, for the listener, with every line.
Funny story. For Rukia, I did not hear a vocal ref. Did you guys hear vocal refs?
No.
When you auditioned? I did not. They did not play me a vocal ref. I had the sides and a description of the character.
A side is an
what?
excerpt of the
I
script.
don't even think I saw a picture. Yeah, it was so top secret. So I think part of the reason why I booked her is because I did have a similar sound to the Japanese actress.
We knocked it out of the park.
Thank you. but I was at the time unbeknownst to me,
Right. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm finishing this one off with a bang for you guys. Can you guys do all of your bankais?
At the same time? Ready?
In a line.
You're not going to see my Bankai unless you pay attention and watch the rest of the
Okay, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. That's a fair response.
All right, I'll go.
Okay.
Tai couldn't hear the Maru.
Bankei Sakunotachi.
Do you want to do Johnny's Bankai, Steve?
I don't do Bankai. I'm too good for it.
Scatter. Senbon Sakura.
Thank God Dan is not drawing his Bankai right now because we'd be here the rest of the day.
Words.
It's the cherry blossoms. Bankai. Haka no Togame. It's chilly.
Shunko, Raijin Senkai.
Resurrección, segunda etapa.
No.
I have no idea. Does he have one?
Does anyone know?
Good chat. Does he have?
No, he has a full brain.
I don't think Chatterer, I think he got
El
Directo! El Diablo.
Is it just El Diablo or is it the arm?
Brazo derecho.
Brazo izquierdo del Diablo!
And I don't remember, would it be, is it Grind Pantera?
Grind Pantera.
Grind Pantera!
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the cast of
You guys are in the basement, come and see us.